it is impossible for any device that operate on a cycle, okay, to receive a heat from a single reservoir and produce a net amount of work. Means the thermal efficiency will be 100%. So there is no heat engine having the thermal efficiency of 100%. Okay. And the Clausius statement says that it is impossible to construct a device that operates in a cycle and produce no effect other than the heat transfer from a lower temperature body to higher temperature body. Means without giving any work input, it is there is a heat transfer from the lower temperature body to the higher temperature body. So it is impossible to construct such a device, okay, without giving any the heat from the lower temperature body to higher temperature body. Okay. So these statements, the Kelvin Planck and the Clausius statement are equivalent. It look like a different, but both are the equivalent, okay, in their consequences, and either statement can be used as the expression of second law of thermodynamics. Okay. So here, for example, to prove that both the statements are equivalent, here I have considered a heat engine, okay, which is operates with only one reservoir, and means it taking the energy heat from the high temperature reservoir, which is at a temperature Th, okay, and converting this heat completely into the net work, and this network is supplied to the refrigerator. Okay, so if you see that this heat engine is violating the Kelvin Planck statement because it's working with only with a single reservoir, okay, and not transferring any heat to the low temperature body, okay. So its efficiency is the 100%, and this work produced by this heat engine is supplied to the refrigerator. So here the refrigerator is not violating any law. You can see that for you know that from the Clausius statement that when you transferring the heat from the low temperature body to high temperature body, you need to give the work input, and the work input is supplied by this heat engine. Okay. So what I have done here, I assume that means I'm violating the Kelvin Planck statement, okay, by using this heat engine which operates only with the single reservoir, okay. But the refrigerator is not violating any statement, okay, because it transferring the heat from the low temperature body to the high temperature body and giving the work input from the heat engine, which okay. So now you combine these two. Now you combined these two as a one refrigerator. So what happened that you can see that the net heat transferred from the low temperature body, you can see that QL, okay, and a net amount of heat transferred to the high temperature body is how much? QH plus QL, okay. You can see that this is the QH plus QL minus QH, okay. Heat transferred from the refrigerator to the high temperature reservoir, okay. So this one cancel. So what is the remaining? Remaining is the QL, okay. So here you can see that without any giving work input, you are transferring the heat from the low temperature reservoir to a high temperature reservoir, okay. So it's violating the which law? Clausius statement, okay. So I assume that means it's a violating heat engine violating the Kelvin Planck statement, okay, and later we found that it's also violating the clauses statement. Okay. So similarly, you can consider the clauses statement violation, and then use the heat engine. Okay, and then you combine it. So you can find that a heat engine operates under the reservoir. Okay. So it can also be shown in a similar manner that a violation of the clauses statements lead to the violation of the Kelvin-Planck statement. Therefore, the clauses and Kelvin-Planck statement are two equivalent expressions of the second law of thermodynamics. Okay. So I already discussed the statement of the clauses and Kelvin-Planck. Okay. It looks different, but both are the equivalent. And also, I proved that these two statements are equivalent. Okay. So this is known as the equivalence of the two statement. Okay, and you can use any one of the statement to express the second law. Next is the reversible and irreversible process. So reversible, before that reversible, now I already discussed the first law and second law. There is a one thing, say PMM. I will ask this question to roll number 3532. 3532.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of PMM?
Perpetual motion machine of first kind.
Yeah. So okay. So when PM1, it means that it's violating a first law. So
Second
a
law of
device, yeah, okay, thank you. So a device that violates the first law of thermodynamics means without giving any input, it's generating is called the perpetual motion machine of first kind. Okay. PMM1 means perpetual motion machine of first kind. Okay, because it's violating the first law of thermodynamics. Okay. So without giving any, suppose this is the PM1, a device. Okay. Without giving any heat input, it's producing the work. Okay. So this is the, because you are not giving, just it's creating the energy without giving any input. Okay. So this is the PMM1, and PMM2 is the perpetual motion machine of the second kind. So a device that violates the second law of thermodynamics is called a perpetual motion machine of the second kind, PMM2. Okay, because it's violating the second law, it's can say that it's a PMM2. Okay, so here there is a single reservoir which is at a temperature TH, and PMM2 is receiving the energy from the high temperature reservoir. Okay, and producing the work. W is equal to Q. So you know that it's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so these types of perpetual motion machine is called as the perpetual motion machine of the second kind. Okay. Next is the reversible and irreversible process. So you know that a reversible process is before I am going to discuss these things, first you watch the video. So irreversible process, a process that cannot be retraced back in the opposite direction is called an irreversible process. Means if you are going okay, first you watch, then I will discuss. So here you can see that a different example of irreversible process. So in the irreversible process, the system does not pass through the same intermediate state as in the direct process. Suppose here you are compressing the gas. Okay. Even if the same initial state is reached. Okay. Now, when you reverse back, it is not in the same state. So here you can see that it's going from one state to another state is like this. Okay. But it's returned from the final state to initial state by the another path. So there is no mean it is not a pass through the same path. Okay. So if this process is made to proceed in the reverse direction, the system does not pass through the same intermediate state as in direct process. So if you are going from 1 to 2 using this path, it will not coming on the same path. It is coming from another path or process. Okay. So this is the example of the irreversible process. The rubbing hand, you know that all the actual process is the irreversible process. Okay. Next, you can see that consider a process of mixing of two gases which do not react with each other. Okay. So you know that the total pressure of the mixture is the sum of the pressure of the individual gases. Okay. So in the process of mixing them at a constant temperature in a cylinder, the mixture attains a new state in thermodynamic equilibrium, and the pressure of the mixture is greater than the individual pressure and they possess the same volume. Okay. Now if you in the reverse direction, the gases cannot be separated to their initial condition by decreasing the pressure. If you are decreasing the pressures, the gases is not going to separate. Okay. So these are the example of the irreversible process. So all the actual process are irreversible process. Okay. So here you can see that reversible process, it is that process which can be retraced in the opposite direction so that the system and the surrounding pass through exactly the same state at each state as in the direct process. Suppose I am going from I to T in during this process, okay, and coming under the same path. You can see that when you reverse the process. So this is the example of the reversible process. You can see that forward and backward is the same and coming under the same intermediate state. So example of electrolysis, slow compression or expansion of spring, etc. Okay. And the irreversible process, here you can see that it is a process which is not exactly reverse. You are going from a state A to a state B from this path, and it is not a return to the same intermediate process. It's coming under another process. Okay. So the system does not pass through the same intermediate state as in the direct process. So this is the example of the irreversible process. All chemical reaction and natural process are the irreversible process. Okay, so now you can now you understand that what is the difference between a reversible and irreversible process. Okay, so a reversible process is defined as a process that can be reversed without leaving any trace on the surrounding. What is the meaning that this terms without leaving any trace on the surroundings? Means if you are going, you know that system can return to their initial state, but during the reverse process, surrounding need to do the work on the systems. Okay, so there is a changes in the surroundings. So when will be the reversible process? So reversible process is possible only if the net heat and net work exchange between the system and the surrounding is zero. What I say that means net when W net okay equal to 0 and Q net equal to 0. Okay, it means that means when you considering the both the direct and reverse process. Okay, so at that time the net work done and the net heat transfer must be the 0. Okay, so reversible process is possible only if the net heat and net work exchange between the system and the surrounding is 0 for the combined process. Combined process means original and reverse process. Okay, so it what the meaning that so a reversible process is defined as a process that can be reversed without leaving any trace on the surrounding. But in actual systems, actual process, the system may be returned to the initial state. Okay. For example, but when you reverse the surrounding, must we do some work on the system so that the systems return to their initial state. Okay. So it is very important that in the reversible process there is no change in the surrounding as well as in the systems. Means the net work done and the net heat transfer is zero for the combined process. Okay. Both the system and the surroundings are returned to their initial state at the end of the reverse process. Okay. And what is the irreversible? A process is called irreversible if the system and all the parts of its surrounding cannot be exactly restored their respective initial state. What is the meaning that? All parts, not single parts. Here you can see that it's talking about all parts of its surrounding. You know that the systems which you can say, the matters or substance which you want to study, that is your system, and outside of this boundary of the system is the surroundings. Okay, so you should ensure that if all parts of its surroundings is exactly restored their respective initial state, then it is a reversible process. Otherwise it is an irreversible process. Okay, so a process is called irreversible if the system and all parts of its surrounding cannot exactly restored to their respective initial states after the process has occurred. Okay, so this is the conditions. Okay, so in the irreversible process, system may achieve the initial come to the initial state, but the surrounding may not be returned. Surrounding will not be returned to their initial states. Okay. So system can be restored to its initial state, but the surrounding does not return to their original states. Okay, so these things you should remember that. That's why it's written that reverse without leaving any trace. Okay, on the surroundings. So when it leave the trace on the surroundings, it is an irreversible process. Okay, so system can be restored to its initial state, but the surroundings does not return to their initial states. Okay. So before, why we need to study the reversible process? So as an engineers, the studying the reversible process, you know that work producing device delivers the most work in case of the reversible process, and the work consuming device consume the least work when the reversible process are used. Okay, so when you design any systems, we have considered the maximum one. Okay, suppose you want to design the turbines, so you have assumed the reversible process. It means that turbine has producing the work during the reverse. Turbines are producing the maximum work during the reversible process. Okay, so all the irreversible means the device which work on the irreversible process will produce the lesser work than the reversible process. Okay, similarly in case of the work consuming device, for example the compressor. Okay, compressor consumes the least work when the process is the reversible. Okay, and it is higher when the process is the irreversible. Okay, so before going to, I will ask some questions to you. There is a two reservoirs which operates at a temperature TH. Okay, and is a TC. There is a two heat engines. Okay, heat engine first, here HE1. HE1 means it is a heat engine first. Okay, and producing some work. Okay, there is another heat engine. And this is the reversible heat engine. Okay, this is the reversible heat engine, and I assume that this is the 2. Okay, and it is also producing the work. So here I have written that eta TH1 means thermal efficiency of heat engine is less than equal to TH2 less than, okay, or equal to, you can consider, and greater than. Okay, so I will ask this question to roll number 3529. 3529 Mohit. Yeah, here the heat engine. Okay, it may be the reversible or it may be the irreversible, or you can consider that it is work on the reversible process. Okay, heat engine first, while the heat engine 2 is working on the reversible process. Okay, so the thermal efficiency of the heat engine first is less than or equal to or greater than of the thermal efficiency of the reversible heat engine 2. Which one is the correct?
Sir, heat engine 2 is reversible, right?
Yes, yes.
So for heat engine 1, it can always be less than or at max it will be equal to heat engine 2. It cannot be greater than.
So why?
Sir, because the maximum possible efficiency is in reversible heat engine case. We cannot have higher than that efficiency.
Okay, okay, thank you. So here the heat engine first is working on the irreversible process. Okay, so the correct option is that thermal efficiency of first heat engine is less than the thermal efficiency of the reversible heat engine. Okay, so you know that the maximum means you can say that efficiency, thermal efficiency is in case of the when the heat engine works on the reversible process. Okay, next one is that if suppose I will ask this question to 3124.
Yes, sir.
If suppose the heat engine first is also working on the reversible process, then which one is the correct options? Less than, equal to, or greater than?
Sir, equal to both.
Why?
Sir, both work in same source and same sink, sir.
Yeah. So here you can see that both the heat engine is working on the reversible process and operating between the same temperature reservoir. Okay. When the operating temperature is the same. If you changing the operating temperature, then it may be the change. But here, what I assume that both the reversible heat engines works under the means between the two temperature reservoir. Okay. So in this case, the correct option is that eta TH first, because both are working on the reversible process. Eta TH2. Okay. This theorem which I discuss here, this is called as the Carnot theorem. Okay. So Carnot theorem, what Carnot theorem say that it say that when the efficiency of or it can also called as the Carnot principle. Okay. So the Carnot principle expressed as follows: the efficiency of an irreversible heat engine. Remember that the efficiency of an irreversible heat engine is always less than the efficiency of a reversible one operating between the same two reservoirs. Okay. And the second principle or theorem, you can say that the efficiency of all reversible heat engine operating between the same two reservoirs are the same. Okay. So now I think your concept has been clear. When you are talking about what is called, it is working under the same reservoirs, and both the heat engines are is a reversible process. Then the efficiency of both the heat engine is the same. Okay, and if one heat engine is working on the irreversible process while other on the reversible process, so the efficiency of the irreversible heat engine is less than the efficiency of the reversible heat engine. Okay, so this is the things. Okay, and what is the irreversibility? So irreversibility defined as that the factors that causes a process to be irreversible are called the irreversibility. Okay, so there are various factors which responsible for the process become the irreversible. Heat transfer through a finite temperature difference. Okay, here you can see that an irreversible heat transfer. Okay, so if you have cold drinks, okay, outside temperature is at 20 degrees Celsius. So you know that if cold drinks at a temperature 5 degrees Celsius, it reaches the thermal equilibrium, and then its temperature becomes the 20 degrees Celsius by taking a heat from the, because surrounding at the higher temperature. So it's taking a heat from the surrounding and then increasing the temperature from 5 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, and if the cold drinks is rejecting the heat to the surroundings, and it is not possible that it comes from 5 degrees Celsius to 2 degrees Celsius. So that is an impossible heat transfer process. Okay, so there are various factors. Okay, for which the process becomes the irreversible. So first one is the heat transfer through a finite temperature difference. So you know that for the heat transfer we need a temperature difference. So if there is a finite temperature difference, then the process is the irreversible. Another is the unrestrained expansion of gas or liquid to a lower pressure. For example, here you can see that here is fluid is separated by the membranes between the two regions, one having the pressure 700 Kelvin Pascal, another at 50 Kelvin Pascal. So when you break the membrane, then there is a expansion. Okay. Another is that a spontaneous chemical reaction, a spontaneous mixing of matter at a different composition or states, friction and sliding. Means here you can see that there is a, for example, consider piston cylinder assembly. So there is a friction between the wall and the pistons. Okay, as well as there is a friction in the flow of fluids. Okay, electric current flow through a resistance, inelastic deformation of solids. So all are the factors which responsible for the process become the irreversible. Okay, and you know that all the actual process are irreversible process. Reversible process is the ideal one. Okay, it is not happen in the real world. Okay, so all the actual process are irreversible processes. Okay, so there are two types of the reversible process. So one is the internally reversible process, another is the externally reversible process. So what is the meaning that internally reversible process? So a process is called internally reversible if no irreversibility occurs within the boundaries of the systems. What I say that if no irreversibility occurs within the boundaries of the systems, means if there is no irreversibility present inside the system, you can say that the process is the internally reversible process. Okay, so in this case the path of the forward and the reverse process coincide for an internally reversible process. Means you are going from 1 to 2 during the same intermediate. When you reverse back, you will pass through the same intermediate process. Okay, and the example of the internally reversible process is the quasi-equilibrium process. Okay, another one is that externally reversible process. So its name already says that externally means you are talking about the outside of the system. So outside system is surroundings. So a process is called externally reversible if no irreversibility occur outside of the system boundary during the process. No irreversibility present inside the surroundings. Okay. And when I am talking about the totally reversible or irreversible, what is the meaning that we are talking about that there is no irreversibility present inside the system and the surroundings. Okay. So no irreversibility outside the system and no irreversibility inside the system, then the process is known as totally reversible, or you can say that reversible. Okay. So here you can see that this is the example of the totally internally reversible. Okay. And here, if outside the temperature is very low, means high, means you can see that the temperature difference is suppose between the two systems is a 0.00001. Okay, so it is very small. So what happened that there is no effect on the surroundings. So okay, so in this case you can say that there is no what I say that for if heat transfer through a finite temperature difference, then there is a irreversibility present. Okay, but finite but here the temperature difference is very small. Okay, so what happened that there is no irreversibility present inside and outside of the system. So you can say that it is a totally reversible. Okay, but here in this case, if suppose the energy is transferred from the reservoir, which is at a temperature 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so there is a you can say that the heat transfer from between the finite temperatures. Okay, so the system is at the means there is no irreversibility present inside the system, but energy transferred from the surrounding. So there is a irreversibility present in inside the surroundings. Okay, so it is called as the internally reversible. Okay, so what is the meaning that internally reversible? If there is no irreversibility present inside the system, then it is called as the internally reversible process. If no irreversibility present outside of the system, means in the surrounding, then it is called as the externally reversible process. And if there is no irreversibility present inside or outside of the system, then you can say that it is a totally reversible or reversible process. Okay. So this is the things which I discussed about the second law. If you have any, let's start next topic related to the, that is the entropy. Okay. So entropy, so you know that the classes inequality, the classes inequality state that for any thermodynamic cycle. Okay, so here I am talking about the cycle. So this one is called as the cyclic integral. Okay, which is used for represent the cycle. Okay, so the cyclic integral of delta q by t is always less than or equal to 0. Roll number 3120. Roll number 3120.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here I have written two equations. Which one is the
Yes.
represent the classes inequality?
Sir,
This is the first option. This is the second. Which one is the correct?
sir, we have written on sir, in the second one, sir.
Second one.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Exact differential. Inexact differential.
No, both are the same. Na? Here also written dq by t, and here also written that delta q by t. So what is the change? Both are the same. Na? Both are talking about the heat transfer and temperatures. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So here you can see that you know that it is a Q is the heat transfer and it depends on the path, and D is represent the exact differential. Okay, and delta represents for the inexact differential. So because it depends on the path, we can use this one. This is the correct one, not this one. Okay, because Q heat transfer is not depends on the initial and final states only. It depends on the process also. Okay, so it is a path function, and D represented the exact differential. Okay, which is used only for the property which depends on the initial and final state. So this one is the correct. So you can use the delta here. Okay, so this is the correct one. So the Clausius inequality state that for any thermodynamic cycle, cyclic integral of delta q by t less than equal to 0. Okay, and this expression is valid for any process. Okay, for any, this inequality is valid for all cycles. Okay, and all the process, either it's a reversible or irreversible. Okay, including the refrigeration cycle also. Okay, and when we are talking about the T here, T is in absolute temperatures. Okay, thermal absolute temperatures, and its unit is the Kelvin, not degrees Celsius. Okay, so remember that T, and it is measured at the boundary. Remember that this T is measured at the boundary. Suppose you are considering the heat transfer from this portion of the boundary, then the temperature of this boundary is only considered. Okay, if suppose here the temperature is different, then you can consider these temperatures only. Okay, so that's why it's written that so here delta Q represents the heat transfer at a part of the system boundary during a portion of the cycle. Okay, and T is the absolute temperature at that part of the boundary. So these things you should remember that T is the temperature at the boundary where you have considered the heat transfer from the system to the surrounding. Okay, and the integrand is evaluated at the boundary. These things is, you know that heat transfer is a boundary phenomena. It is always observed at the boundary. Okay, so that's why here this integration occurs evaluated at the boundary of the systems executing the cycle. Okay, so how this equations comes, let's first develop this one. Okay, so here you can see that I have considered a thermal reservoir. Okay, and which is at a temperature Tr, and giving the energy delta Qr to a reversible cyclic device. Okay, here what I have mentioned that this is the reversible cyclic device, and producing the work delta Q reversible. Okay, and supplying the heat to the systems. Okay, so it is not violating any law. You can see that it is fulfill this reversible cyclic device. It fulfill the Kelvin Planck statement. Okay, because it's receiving, it is working between the two systems, two reservoirs, taken energy from the thermal reservoir delta QR, and giving energy heat to the system. Okay, so delta Q. Okay, and producing the work delta W reversible. Okay, so when you supply the heat, this piston cylinder assembly, which is your systems, is also producing the work, and you can return that delta W system. Okay, Now you can combine this reversible cyclic device and the system as a one device. Okay. Now our combined system, you can say that. So here you can see that I have this dotted rectangular. Na? It means that I have combined both the reversible cyclic device as well as the systems. Okay. So now you can apply the energy balance. So I can ask this one 3118. 3118.
Present, sir.
Yes, sir. You need to apply the energy balance for in this for the combined systems. So can you tell me that what are the equations for this combined systems? Yes, sir.
Sir, for a combined system, net work done is a W system and W reversible, and net heat transfer is a QR.
Net heat transfer is the delta QR. Okay.
Yes.
Minus net
Work
done.
done is a
So
delta W reversible plus delta W system.
yeah. So you can write a delta W reversible plus delta W system. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So is equal to what?
Sir, is equal to
Your saving. What is your saving? Change in total energy.
energy. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So it is your DEC. Okay. So
Hmm.
this terms I have considered that delta WC means it is the combined work produced means it is the net work produced by the combined systems. Okay, thank you. So now you know that from the Kelvin, our last lecture I told you that the ratio of the heat transfer is equal to from the Kelvin Planck delta QR by TR. Okay, is equal to delta Q by T. Okay. So now you can substitute this value here. Okay. In terms of the delta QR. So what you will find that? You will find that DEC, change in energy, is equal to TR delta Q by T minus C. Okay. What is this relation is called as the Kelvin scale or thermodynamic temperature scale, also it's Kelvin scale. Okay. So now you substituted. Now it is working. I assume that the system is also working on cyclic process. Now what you will do? You will do the integration. Okay. So you rearrange this term. So delta WC is equal to TR delta Q by T minus DEC. Okay. So when you assume that it's a cyclic process, so you can integrate it. Okay. So you know that during the cyclic process, change in property is the zero. So these terms become the zero here because of the cyclic process. Okay. And you can know that during the cyclic process, the work produced is the net work than WC, and a reservoir is at a constant temperature TR. So this is coming outside of these terms. So TR of the integration. So what is this? Cyclic integration delta Q by T. So what do you find that? You can see that we are the combined systems is working with only one reservoir, means it is not losing any energy to the sink. Okay. So it is a violation of the Kelvin Planck statements. So the WC must not be a positive work. So it means that either it is 0 or negative. So that's why delta Q of cyclic integration is less than equal to 0. Okay. What I say that it appears that the combined system is executing heat with a single thermal energy reservoir while producing work WC during the cycle. Okay. So you know that it is a violation of the what? Kelvin Planck statement. So it is not a positive work. It may be the 0 or it may be the negative work. So on the basis of the Kelvin Planck statement of the second law, WC cannot be a work output, and thus it cannot be a positive quantity. Okay. So that cyclic integration of delta Q by T less than equal to 0. Okay. So when will be the less than and when will be equal to? So cyclic integration delta Q by T equal to 0 when the process is a reversible. Okay. When the process is a reversible, then cyclic integration of delta Q by T is equal to 0 is valid only for the reversible process. Okay. And the cyclic integration of delta Q by T less than 0 for irreversible process. Okay. Irreversible process. Okay. And it is impossible that cyclic integration of delta Q by T is greater than 0. Okay. That is the impossible process. So this is not possible. Okay. So impossible. So impossible process. Okay. So that's why here it's written that the equality holds for the totally or just internally reversible cycles. Okay. So this equality holds for totally means there is no irreversibility present inside or outside of the systems. Okay. And the inequality for the irreversible one. Okay. So this inequality is valid for the irreversible ones. Okay. So this is called as yeah.
Sir, I don't got from that how WC by TR should be less than or equals to 0.
I say that it is working as a this combined system working with only one reservoir. Okay.
Yes.
So it is violating the what? Kelvin Planck statements. So WC is not a positive quantity. So either it is a 0 or a negative one. Okay. So that's why.
Why not, sir?
Sorry.
If means Kelvin Planck statement is saying that del QR should not be completely converted to del WC, but partial could be converted. No, means some heat could be removed and some positive work could be got from del QR.
What he say that a Kelvin Planck statement? You have a single reservoirs, okay, and taken the energy and producing the work. Producing the work, na?
Yes, yes.
So it is not saying that it is not consuming. It say that if you are working with the single reservoir, okay, you cannot produce the work. Means it cannot completely convert this heat into work.
Yes. Yes. But
So
we can convert at least partially, so it would have some positive value.
Yeah. So here it is working under this WC means combined means work network produced by the combined systems is not a positive one. Okay. Next you can here I consider heat engine. Na? You can do for the refrigerator also. So in the refrigerator case, what happened that? What is the classes in statement say that? In this case, what happened that WC is not a negative quantity means okay. So it is a positive quantity. Then again you can get this things this inequality. So this inequality is valid for both the heat engine as well as the refrigeration one. Okay. So when you are talking about when the suppose in case of the in reverse cycle case, so all the quantities have the same magnitude but the opposite signs. Is it correct?
Yes.
When you reverse the things, so what happens? The magnitude is the same but the sign is opposite. So
Yes.
and in that case, what happens that the WC could not be a positive quantity in the regular case and cannot be, so it is a not a negative quantity in the reverse case also. Okay, so it may be the positive one. So that's why you can consider like this. All are the negative, another side is the positive. Okay, so in this way it is you can consider and you can say prove the you can derive the Clausius inequality.
Sir, del WC is equals to del WR plus del W system, no?
Sorry.
Means we have replaced the del WC term by the summation of del W reversible plus del W system. So you are saying that if we cyclically integrate it, it should be.
Cyclic system is also working on the cycle. Okay, and this is a device also working on the cycle. Then you can integrate both sides. So you can use the cyclic integral both sides. Okay, and you know that the net for in case of the cyclic process, net change in the property of the system is equal to 0. You know that initial and final state are the same. So that's why DEC, which is represent the what? Change in
a property, means energy is property. Yes.
So it is a property. It's a change in total energy of the system, combined system. So I'm not talking about the individual because I have considered the combined, means both the cyclic device plus systems. Okay.
So it will be 0. Then next step WC equals to TR cyclic into cyclic integral of del Q by T. Then after that step, I am not getting how del Q by T is less than or equals to 0.
Up to this you are getting? This is a cyclic integral?
Yes. After that WC equals to TR integral of del Q by T.
So WC is equal to, because the thermal reservoir is at a constant temperature, so TR is coming outside of this integration. Is it fine?
Yes.
We know that now thermal reservoir having the
constant temperature. Yes.
Large thermal energy capacity, so it's change the temperature. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you can see that when you combined, so it is violating which one? Kelvin Planck or a Clausius statement?
Kelvin Planck statement, because there is no sink.
No sink. So it means that the WC, which is I assume that it is a positive quantity. So but when you assume it's a positive quantity, it's violating the which law? Kelvin Planck. Okay, it's violating the Kelvin Planck statement. So this WC is not a positive
by
quantity.
Kelvin Planck, we can. It says that del QR should be greater than del WC.
What Kelvin Planck say that?
Del QR should be greater than del WC. Means the heat cannot be completely converted, but sir, we cannot deduce that it should be negative value.
No, here there is a one thing, sir. Positive work is what? Heat engine is producing the work, no? What is the work of the heat engine? It produces the work.
Sir, in normal heat engine also it produces the work while rejecting some heat.
That is the thing, no? Normal. I'm just talking about that heat engines, but normal. What is the meaning that normal, sir? It is a heat engines rejecting the heat to the sink, no?
Yes.
But here it's not rejecting any heat. It totally converted the heat into the work without rejecting any heat to the sink. Is it correct?
Yes.
This is the Kelvin Planck.
Yes.
And the heat engine which producing is a positive work because work done by the systems.
Yes.
Work done by the system is what?
Positive.
It is a positive things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when we work done on the system, then
Work done on
only the
negative.
negative. Okay. So here you can see that the combined systems is producing the work. So it is
Yes.
the positive things, but it's violating the which law? Kelvin-Planck statement. Okay. So means our assumption is the wrong. Our assumptions, we assume that it is a positive one, but it is the wrong because it's violating the Kelvin-Planck. So what is the possibility? It may be the negative or zero.
Negative or zero.
Yeah.
Sir, if
So
it
that's
is
why.
negative or zero, it will violate the first law, which says
Sorry?
that means if it will accumulate the energy if it is negative.
Yeah. So it is the negative one. If it or a zero. So that's why here we assume that the WC is less than equal to 0. So you can substitute here. So you will find that cyclic integration delta Q by T less than equal to 0.
Okay, sir. I will read it again from the book.
Yeah. Same thing
So
when
now-
you do the reverse during the reverse cycle. In case of the reverse cycle, what you will find that
Yes.
in case of the
Del
reverse
Q, WC should be positive in
positive,
reverse.
but other quantity is the negative.
Yes.
Having the same magnitude but the negative one. Okay, so at that time the WC is the greater than equal to 0, but other things is the negative, some negative